talking about just how big our solar system is. All right, so when we think about distance, we usually think about feet or miles. So for example, where I am right now in Hammond High, I know that I am 15 miles away from my house, right? Well, let's think about planets. Do you think that we would say that the Earth is maybe 93 million miles away from Mars? We could, but it would be a lot easier if there was another way that we could measure it, right? So astronomers, people who study space and the sky and the stars, they came up with something called an astronomical unit, or an AU, all right? What it does is it measures the distance between the planets, the distance between the sun and the planets, and the distance between pretty much anything in space. So an AU is about 93 million miles. That's a long way. You could drive from the very bottom of Louisiana all the way to the very top multiple times. It's a lot of driving, right? So if we were to think about the distances between planets, the Earth is exactly 1 astronomical unit away from the sun. We are 93 million miles away from the sun, and yet we still get light every day. Isn't that pretty cool? All right, so today what we're gonna make is we are gonna make a way for you guys to kind of see how big the solar system is, all right? And what we're gonna use is we're gonna use some yarn, all right? And then I have 11 different colors of beads that are gonna represent my planets, the sun, and our asteroid belt, all right? Because that's a very big part of our solar system. Now I will tell you, all of our measurements today are gonna be in centimeters. So I just so happen to have a 1.6 m since I'm at Hammond High, and I have centimeters on this side. If you guys just have a regular ruler, it'll work as well. You can also, if you feel like doing some pretty cool math, you can convert inches to centimeters, all right? So you can use that measurement as well. So let's get started. All right guys, so now that we have all of our materials, I've gone ahead and I've cut my yarn into a 5-meter piece, just to save some time. I also have my 11 different colors sorted out. So this is something that I went ahead and I did already before I started. And what I did is I just picked a color for each planet. So, and as well as our sun and our asteroid belt. So my sun is this like kind of glittery yellow, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, asteroid belt, which I used some black beads for my asteroid belt, Jupiter, and since this one is a gas giant, I chose some yellowy, kind of clear glitter beads. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. All right, so let's get started. So at the very beginning of our solar system, or the very center, we have our sun. So let me go ahead and get my yellow bead. All right, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna string it on just like you would string on a necklace, all right, and tie it. Now, measuring time. I have this sheet right here, which you guys will find on this page, and this has all of our measurements. So from the end, or our sun, we're gonna measure 4 centimeters. All right, 4 centimeters is about right here for me, and that's where I'm gonna put my Mercury. We'll take the end of our 5-meter piece and put it back through. Now for this, what I like to do is tape the end of it so you can feed it through your beads, kind of like you're making your own plastic sewing needle, all right? 4 centimeters. And make sure you hold your bead tight so your measurements are accurate, all right? Ah, it's stuck on my meter stick. We'll just pull this through, like so. All right. And I like to just make sure that it's nice and tight. So I'm gonna go through and make one more knot, all right? Nice and secure. And let me double check and make sure that it is 4 centimeters away. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. That little bead is not going anywhere. All right, so now that I have my Mercury bead nice and secure, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is tie on the rest of my planets. Now remember, while you're tying on the rest of your planets, you're not measuring away from the last planet you tied. So for example, if I'm going to put my Venus on, I'm not going to measure 7 centimeters away from Mercury. I'm going to measure 7 centimeters away from our sunbeam. All right. So, and you'll just do that on until you have your whole string done. So I'm going to go ahead and put my planets on. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, guys. So I finished stringing all of my planets. It is so long that it doesn't even, I can't even show you it on the screen. All right. It's so massive. But look at these planets and our asteroid belt that are so close together. And then once you get here, look at the distance between Jupiter and Saturn. Isn't that amazing? Our solar system is so big that for 92 centimeters on our string, there isn't a whole planet. And then we come all the way over here to Pluto. And to think that the distance between our Earth and Mars looks so short to us right now, but it takes 6 months to get there when you're in a spaceship. Man, that's a lot of time. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with this activity. I know I really enjoyed it when I was measuring and seeing the distances between planets. I know it definitely blew my mind, some of the distances like between Jupiter and Saturn. I did not know that there was that much space in between each of these planets. All right. So I hope you learned something and I hope you had a lot of fun. Goodbye, guys.